Hey, yo, Josh, let me get a little bit of reverb. Yeah. J. Will. Yeah, I'm about that lifestyle. I talk green work, repping it all over. It's right on the t-shirt. Fan for a lifetime. Yeah, that's a long pass. Figure I would show some love right on the podcast. Turn this up loud and make sure you don't do nothing else. Cause if you're listening to us, then you're improving your health. My name is J. Will. Welcome to the show, yeah. Wrestle, flow, 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 yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wrestling Reverb, the official launch of the Josh Robinson 00 Network. I am so excited to finally get to sit down and record some Wrestling Reverb. It has been like 3 weeks. It's been even longer since I've had Kevin with me for Wrestling Reverb. Kevin, welcome back, first and foremost.
It's good to be back, man. Every time I have to step away for a week, it just breaks my heart. And I'm glad that I'm glad that we've gotten past the pageantry of the Josh Robinson 00 reveal.
Oh, yes.
Which was fun, but also agonizing because A, I wanted to know what was going on, and B, I wanted to get back to doing what we do best.
Yes, it has been a minute, and I know that it was worth it. The true wrestling fan in me came out because I got to actually have some fun with keeping people on edge. Because people were messaging me a lot, including Kevin. He was like, "Just tell me." I'm like, "Nah, bitch. You're gonna find out like the rest of them."
Yeah, I'm not patient. I'm not good at waiting.
I'd do the same thing.
It's always remarkable to me when people set, they'll say like this is gonna happen on such and such a date, and that date's like 3-4 weeks in the future. I'm so impressed at your ability to stick to that because I would be so excited and I would give it away early.
Oh, bitch, I was ready to just be like, the day I said I was gonna reveal it on this day, I was like, oh, can I just tell people now? I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait. It was well worth the wait because people were like, oh, this is actually cool. It's a risk, I understand, everybody, but this is there's been some content on the network this week just to kind of whet your appetites a little bit, but this is the official launch because Wrestling Reverb is my baby, and I just wanted it to kick off everything. And it's still going to be every Friday. You're just going to find it on this new feed. It's available everywhere, wherever you're listening on. Please subscribe, YouTube, wherever you're at. It's all going to be there, and just there is some more to this than just what's been announced, but it's nothing like as big as this. But there is some more things, but I'm excited because I'm ready just to kind of. Everyone knows how I am. Everyone knows how I treat this. I'm ready to see where I can go with this because who knows? You never really know. Kev, it's been like 3 weeks since we've really talked to each other. How has life been? Boring? The same? What's new?
It's been the opposite of boring. I've gotten some more opportunities at work, which is cool. I got to go to President Trump's town hall. He held it in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is like 20 minutes away from where I work. And I got to be the reporter on that, which was cool. Whether or not, obviously politics are iffy, and whether you like the man, whether you hate the man, it's still pretty cool as a journalist to be able to go to something like that.
He's still a president. Cool. Like, he's still a president.
Yeah. It was cool. It was great. And then obviously with all of this coronavirus stuff going on, which I'm sure we'll talk about more in depth as it relates to wrestling, but just at work, obviously, like everything is shutting down, and I have to report on everything shutting down. So I'm literally running around like the whole place, trying to figure out what schools are closing, what businesses are closing. Are we having our St. Patrick's Day parade, stuff like that. It's been a very busy couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's a pretty crazy world we're living in at the moment. Just going on any social media, you open up Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, and it's like someone's releasing a statement because this isn't happening. And it's weird because usually like stuff like this is just like, oh, it's just in the States, or it's just in the UK, or it's just in Australia. It's like, no, it's everywhere. Like everything is getting shut down. Just alone where I'm recording on Friday morning my time, and since I've woken up I've been awake for like 3 hours, and literally we've had music festivals shut down, people cancelling tours, we've had the Grand Prix shut down, like the Australian Grand Prix, Formula 1 is cancelled. Everything is getting cancelled or postponed. Of course, there's so much talking wrestling, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it's so weird, and it's just I've never, I don't think, has the world ever experienced something like this where literally everything is being postponed or being cancelled? I can't recall a time, at least in my lifetime.
I honestly can't recall a time where this has been this in this situation has happened. I mean, I just, I'm a big sports guy, even outside of wrestling. And to see, the NCAA tournament, college basketball tournaments around the country get shut down, to see the NBA get shut down, MLB suspending the beginning of their season, NHL shutting down, literally everything.
XFL, guys, the XFL just suspended.
The XFL shutting down. And of course, I get it, and I want everyone to be safe first and foremost. Yes. I selfishly was like, damn it, I wish that this wasn't happening. I wish that I had my sports back.
Yeah, sports are like a driving force of the world that keeps everyone entertained. I'm not a big sports guy, but I know the kind of significance. We've got the AFL, the Australian Football League season starting next week, and that's in jeopardy. And people are like, what the fuck's going to happen if that shuts down? Or they're going to be doing like no crowd events in arenas and stadiums. And it's like, how sports is so reliant on its fans, and it takes away some elements of it, I think, especially with wrestling, which is, fans are a part of the show when it comes to wrestling. So it's, we'll dive into this WrestleMania stuff because, real talk, Kev, you're the same as me. WrestleMania is like our Christmas. It's my favorite, one of my favorite days of the year. I take a day off work. It's a whole thing. Like, I'm ready to sit in front of a television for 8 hours and watch wrestling unfold. And it's in jeopardy. They're delaying it, which is just silly. Everything else is getting cancelled. At this point, it's going to be postponed or cancelled or moved. Something's going to happen. But we're only, 3 weeks out from Mania, and we don't really know what the hell is going on with Mania. I couldn't imagine 80,000 people traveling in from all over the world going into one space. I just don't think that's very safe, given the health is priority for the people attending, for the performers, for everyone just in that stadium in Tampa Bay. There's no way in hell that it's going down. It's just a matter of like, Tampa Bay don't want to be the ones to say we're shutting it down. WWE don't want to be the ones to say we're shutting it down. It's a lose-lose situation no matter what you say, because there's some people that, no matter what you think about the coronavirus, there's some people like, it's just this, why is everything shutting down? But then you've got, we want to take care of the people. It's lose-lose. It's pretty crazy. We've never had this in 36 years of WrestleMania. There's never been a time where it's like, it's going to happen later in the year, or it's not happening, or it potentially could be happening in the PC. Who really knows what's going down? SmackDown got moved to the PC. Would you rather have no WrestleMania, or would you rather have WrestleMania held in the PC?
God, I honestly think at that point I would rather not have WrestleMania. I don't want to diminish it in any way. WrestleMania, at least in the last 10, 15 years, is a show made for these huge stadiums anymore. And I just feel like going back to, it wouldn't feel like WrestleMania if it was in the Performance Center. It would feel like just another show, no matter how good the card was.
Yeah, I get that. However, given the circumstances with everything, it's not like anything else can run in these big stadiums. It's like, I think wrestling relies on storylines. You can't just be like, oh, we'll just start again in 3 months, like a season of the NBA or something. It's different. It relies on relevancy and keeping up to date. It's a television show. I would prefer it, and then maybe we get SummerSlam rescheduled to a stadium in August, and we have like the big stadium show for SummerSlam. That's how I'd prefer something than nothing in my instance with the Performance Center, and you can still have the show, and it can still, because it's still being streamed to millions upon millions of people. It's not just the 80,000 people that would be in that stadium. I understand it, but given the circumstances, this is only because of the circumstances, I would understand, and I'd be like, okay, this is the best what they can do. It's not like they can do much else. NXT was in the Performance Center this week, and it didn't really seem that much different from Full Sail, to be completely honest with you. SmackDown's going to be there. I'd assume Raw and SmackDown's for the foreseeable future will probably be in the Performance Center. I couldn't really imagine this SmackDown being cancelled, and it's like, everything's fine by Monday for Raw. It's like, no, I think Raw's going to be in the Performance Center as well. I'm pretty certain. and we'll just kind of, I guess we're kind of playing it week to week at this point, but nonetheless, we still are technically, if it is happening 3 weeks upon Mania, I'm trying to contain my excitement a little bit, because I was even watching Raw or NXT this week, and I was like, man, I'm really excited for everything that's happening at Mania. For the most part, I was like, this is going to be a pretty good show, and then all this comes out, and it's like, I don't want to get my hopes up just in case this thing doesn't happen. How you feeling about the build to WrestleMania? I understand you've been in a little bit of a wrestling funk.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, since it probably dates back even to before Super Showdown, but this is where I really noticed it. After watching that show, I just was like, not to be dramatic. I will be dramatic. I was just questioning my existence a little bit, and I was like, why do I even like this shit, And then I tried, going back on the network and picking a match up and just watching it. Couldn't hold myself to it. And I don't get to watch Raw and SmackDown because of work. Work. I watched NXT last week actually, and it was good. I wasn't locked into it the way I would normally would for even like a shitty episode of Raw.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I watched Super Showdown after I found out what happened, because I'd seen spoilers, and I was like, everyone's seen my rant about that. Everyone was like, I wasn't even angry. I was like you, like, do I even care about wrestling anymore? Is this something that I want to continue to watch? Because it just made me just go, ugh. We just get the same stuff just constantly happening. This isn't just WWE, by the way, guys. Everyone knows, well, I'll talk about AEW soon, but everyone knows my stance on that. It wasn't like I was particularly in love with AEW. But, things changed, and I started to watch, and I was like, that helped me realize that I do, in fact, care about wrestling, and I'm kind of more involved with wrestling than I have been in the last year or so, which is good. AEW's kind of come back around for me a little bit. I've watched the last 2 episodes of Dynamite 2 weeks in a row. That's a lot for me, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying NXT. I'm enjoying Raw. SmackDown's a little bit like whatever, but I for the most part, I'm liking wrestling. But I have been there before, because I've never taken a break from wrestling, and I was like, for the first time, I'm like, do I want to take a break? Because I'm not really enjoying it. But we're in just a weird time. Again, coronavirus is everywhere, so it's like I'm finally back into this rhythm again. It's like, is it going to happen? I'm sure it's going to happen at some stage. These matches are just not going to happen. But it does seem weird to think we're in a weird funk where Mania might not happen at the intended time. It's a weird time, because this doesn't just hurt WWE. It doesn't just hurt WrestleMania. It hurts everything surrounding WrestleMania weekend, the Hall of Fame, TakeOver, Raw, SmackDown, Access. I think Access got officially canned today, didn't it? I think I seen that arena that Access was being held in, someone tested positive for coronavirus, so therefore all events are shut down. So Access is officially done. So there's no Access, at least. It's pretty intense. So it doesn't just affect WWE, though. It affects all the indie stuff that's going on in that week.
Yeah.
AEW are relocating a lot of their shows and rescheduling a lot of their shows to Jacksonville. I guess they have like a place, obviously, in Jacksonville, where they said they're doing like limited seating, limited people being in there. WWE Performance Center is only open to like personnel, and I think they said like family of the talent of the officials and stuff like that. So that'll be a small crowd with just limited people. It's pretty crazy that we're not getting all of this stuff. Concerts have all been shut down throughout the world. It's affecting a lot of stuff. It's kind of on the forefront of everyone's brain. Schools are being shut down here in the States, in the UK. Poor Italy has been really, really affected by coronavirus. I think they're the most affected outside of China, I'm pretty certain. Obviously, coronavirus started in China and made its way around to the rest of the thing. But it's just a worldwide, I don't even know, it's just a panic. Everyone's in a panic at the moment. I work in a supermarket and people are going nuts, and it's not even in the area that I'm in. I mean, Adelaide has it, but not anywhere near I am. I think at this point, it's going to be hard to avoid getting this thing, isn't it? Because it's just going to be everywhere.
I mean, it's so easily it seems to be so easily transferable too. You know, you could touch just about anything and it could be on there. I know money is a big one. And
Yeah.
how many times does money exchange hands
I
between
work
people
with
on a
money.
daily
Yeah,
basis?
I know what that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you work at a grocery store, you probably deal with money all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's just because it can travel anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
That $50 note can go anywhere in the country, and there's people. Australia's getting hit in some spots. I know Melbourne's getting hit pretty hard. Brisbane and stuff like that is getting hit pretty hard. We're not in the. I mean, this is at time of recording because it's ongoing. I think we're the most like Western country that is getting hit with it the least. I think, which is I think it's because we're so far away from everything. But it's still here, and it's still lots of things are going on lockdown and stuff like that. I would imagine within the next 2 or 3 weeks that a lot of schools will be closing down here, and a lot of places of work because, I mean, I don't really want to be. I mean, I work in a supermarket. I don't really want to be around it if it's in the area. I would probably not go to work, I would assume, because it would be too dangerous. The whole fucking world is going on lockdown, it seems.
It's
only
unprecedented. It really is.
Never happened.
You could say, and for this, you could say like, oh, we've been through, such and such. We've been through MRSA. We've been through swine flu and SARS and all that. None of those affected the world this way.
No, none of it's affected the world like it has. Like, this is the world. It's
it's everywhere.
I'm not
It's
so much of a panic.
everywhere.
I'm personally not so much in a panic. It's just kind of still affecting me. But I guess I'm just not that panicky kind of person in general. But I mean, is it around you? Are you near where outbreaks have happened?
The nearest one's probably like an hour or two away. In Wayne County, Pennsylvania, which is a couple away. But our area certainly has everything. They shut down the state basketball tournament, the state swimming tournaments. They've shut down schools in my area. Most of the universities and colleges in my area are shut down or sent to distance learning. It's affected just about everybody in some way. I know a bunch of my friends are getting told to work from home. I really don't have that option because I have to go out into the field and do stuff.
Yeah, it's just a really weird time to be on Earth. Really, like, I know that sounds dramatic, but it is really weird because it's all we can. We're trying to talk about wrestling here, and it's like we can't at the moment because it's just everywhere, and it needs to be kind of said. It affects everybody. There's no one it doesn't affect in some weird way, even if it's not directly. It's even just entertainment-wise. All these movies are even stopping from releasing in a theater because people aren't going out to the cinemas to watch these movies. So, like, it's crazy, and it's a weird time, and health of anyone is first and foremost the most important thing. So I understand that I'm gutted that potentially we're not getting a lot of these shows Wrestlemania wise and just in general, wrestling in general. But the greater cause of things, I can miss out on a month or two of wrestling if it means getting this thing kind of under control, because it doesn't really seem like it's hard to control. I couldn't imagine being the decision makers here and being the government of any country at the moment, but I don't know, they're trying, but it doesn't really seem like it's going to outbreak. It's going to happen. You're not going to be, if there's all these tested cases of positive, imagine all the untested cases and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's only been X amount of cases administered in the United States, like something like a couple thousand for how many people live here and are potentially exposed like every day. They only have tests available for a couple thousand people. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're in like a couple hundred or something like that, but on scale of amount of people that live here to the States, it's pretty similar. But
yeah,
it is. It's just everywhere. We're not going to be able to avoid it. It's just, I think we need to, this is just my personal opinion. This is just how I view it. I think we all just need to, yes, there's a sense of worry and there's a certain right to have that. I think we need to be less panicky and just calm down, read the signs, say what health officials do. Because yes, it can, obviously we've had lives lost because of the coronavirus, but on the most on the most scale, it seems if you go to the doctor and you get tested positive, it's to quarantine yourself and just do what you do with a common flu or similar to a common cold and just rest and take care of yourself. And for the most part, you should be okay. However, it's just rapidly expanding, and that's how I view it personally, just from research that I've done and what I've seen. But there's many conflicting stories about if you get it, some people are like, you get it, you die. It's like, no, I don't think that's the case. I'm not a health official or a professional, but it seems to be that's what kind of health authorities are saying. But on to other things. I'm sure we'll probably bring up coronavirus again soon because it all relates to WrestleMania. We have had quite, we've had quite a break from wrestling, Reverb, and doing a podcast. We haven't had the opportunity to talk about certain few things. Obviously, the main thing, first and foremost, to get it out of the way, Goldberg did win the Universal Championship. We had many talks leading up to Goldberg and The Fiend at Super Showdown. And we were both kind of on the same page, as I think everyone was, that The Fiend was going to win. I don't recall us ever saying that Goldberg would win. I don't recall it anyway. I could be wrong. It's been a minute, but I certainly didn't expect it. I wasn't happy, as most of us weren't. I'm not necessarily not happy about it anymore. Not necessarily happy about it anymore, but I don't know. I just feel very indifferent towards it. I've honestly tried to erase it a little bit and just being like, Roman and Goldberg is just happening and it's just there. And it's kind of like my kind of rest break for in between Mania. How do you feel 3 weeks after this? 3 weeks after this has happened, I think. 4 weeks, something like that. 3 weeks, I think. How are you feeling about it now?
I mean, I think the easiest way to think about it, kind of like what you said, is that, yeah, it happened. There's no going back and changing it. You just sort of have to accept it and move on. That said, I mean, it felt like a kick in the gut watching that happen. Goldberg not even being able to get Bray Wyatt up for a proper jackhammer, basically just hit him with a suplex into a float
lazy one too.
I know. I'm like, I don't know. You can blame whoever, but like obviously Goldberg is 50 some years old or whatever. I don't know how old he is, but he's up there, and we've seen in his last two matches, or two of his last three matches, that he can't go like he once did, and he's not someone that right now is WWE Universal Championship material, but because they insist that he's a draw, which, obviously that there's something to be said for that. People tune in to see Goldberg, but it's not like he's like breaking down barriers in terms of TV ratings or anything.
No, I wasn't so mad that Goldberg won. It was the way that he won. He just kind of, the Fiend showed hesitation, which I didn't like. It's like, it makes the Fiend look beatable. And not only that, imagine if John Cena was chasing his 17th title reign going into Mania this year with the Fiend. That would have been a cooler story, but nonetheless, we can't change what's happened. We can only continue to watch or not watch, and that's our prerogative, and either not watch and be happy or continue to watch and kind of just shut the fuck up about it, I guess. That's how I just kind of stopped dwelling on it after a day or two and was like, okay, it's happened. I can't change anything. Let me pay my attention to somewhere else, something else that I like, or whatever it may be. Goldberg and Roman is happening, whatever. I don't really want to speak on it too much more because I just don't really care. Fiend and Cena is happening, like I said. It's a way for Bray to get his win back from a few years ago. I couldn't imagine Cena beating Bray. I would be pretty damn angry if Cena beat the Fiend at Mania. Well, if Mania... everything I'm saying is if Mania is going ahead. At the time of recording, it is. But we'll see. By the time this comes out in a few hours' time, who fucking knows what will be going down. But as of this time, Mania is going ahead. Fiend and Cena, I'm excited for it. It'll probably be a really good match. From memory, WrestleMania 30, they had an okay match, yeah? From memory.
It's like, it wasn't memorable. I mean, it was fine, in my opinion. The thing is, Cena did win. But I honestly, I want to agree with you that, like, I don't see any way Cena wins. But I thought that about Goldberg. And
yeah, true.
Cena's someone that wins more than Goldberg. Even though I think Cena's also more willing to give up the win than Goldberg.
I don't even think it's Goldberg that's like, I'm going to come in and win. I think that was purely a booking standpoint and being like, I understand why they put the title on Goldberg is so they don't want Roman to get booed. Okay? They don't want Roman to get booed. But however, if it happens in the PC, it's going to be WWE officials. So he's not going to get fucking booed anyway. Because they'll go for the faces and boo the heels. That's how it will work if it happens in the PC. So they don't really have too much of an issue with that now. But obviously they didn't know what was going down. But it is what it is. Fiend and Cena will be fine. I'm semi-excited for that. Something that I am really excited about. Well, you have a difference of opinion with what went down in the Elimination Chamber than I did. I understand. Chamber happened.
Oh,
let's talk about the main event, because you were not necessarily very happy. I personally really liked the main event. I liked the way it happened. I could have probably done without the time in between Shayna just kind of standing around. That could have been kind of a little bit less. But I like everything else that happened in that chamber, and I like the fact that Shayna and Becky is happening. I'm hoping that Shayna beats Becky, because I like Becky in the chase. I think we can both agree on that, at least. Becky's better chasing than she is being a champion for as long as she has. And I like Shayna Baszler. I think she's very talented. I think she brings something very different to WWE in general. I believe, I'm paraphrasing here with your tweet, but you said, I understand this was a story going into this match, but maybe that was the most unfun Elimination Chamber of all time. I'm pretty sure I got that nearly word for word.
You did. You actually did get that word for word.
I don't even have my phone near me. Wow.
And I'm still exactly, I feel exactly the same way X amount of days later, where, I get it. They wanted to make Shayna a badass, and they certainly did. I'm not going to argue with the execution of it, because I think it was executed really well. I wasn't, crazy about the whole idea in general, being that I feel like they didn't really need the chamber for it. I feel like they could have just had her run through a bunch of people in any sort of match. I also don't feel like she really needed to run through like the jobbers of the Raw roster.
Jobbers? Okay.
Yeah, I went there.
Okay.
Because face it, no matter what they do, no matter how many times they repackage Liv Morgan, they're not going to do anything with her. I don't think they have plans for. I don't think, maybe outside of some more Riot Squad stuff, I don't think they have anything for Ruby or Sarah. Natalya sucks. Then there's Asuka, who's not a jobber, but like sometimes they treat her like one.
Well, I have never agreed with you less, but I respect your opinion. I can understand why you thought that match was unfun. You know how I am. I'm a story mark, so those kind of matches speak to me a lot, and I was into it a lot. That was my kind of like, I had a lot of fun with that. Shayna was brutal. It put Shayna in a different level. I understand where you're coming from, is that it can hurt the roster a lot because she just ran through 5 different women. But I don't know. I enjoyed it. I like where it's going. I'm a big fan of Shayna Baszler, and I'm a fan of Shayna and Becky's program thus far because it's simple, other than the bite. But I like the bite, to be completely honest with you, even all this time removed.
I didn't hate the bite. I thought it was different.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know how happy I'll be if Becky beats Shayna, because then, okay, if Becky beats Shayna, then it's a waste of what they did in the chamber, because then you just disintegrated your entire roster, basically, for the pure sake of Becky winning. Do you see Becky winning at WrestleMania if it happens?
I can't, because basically exactly what you said. I can't see them taking what they did at Elimination Chamber, going out on a limb and booking a main event of a pay-per-view like that. Definitely risky, no matter how you feel about it. It was a risk, and risky, I don't think they would just go and basically undo that for Becky's sake. I don't think Becky first of all, I think if you book Becky that strongly, it's kind of over. Like, I don't know who takes the belt off her realistically, if not Shayna.
If the only person that could literally take that title off of her if she's to beat Shayna is Ronda Rousey. It's the only person. Because it's the only person with any credibility over Becky, because Becky only beat Ronda with a botched roll-up, mind you, but a roll-up nonetheless. Something that I know that you would have loved at the Chamber was the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match. That was the complete opposite of the Women's Elimination Chamber match, in that it was just full of spots. Not a bad thing. It was.
I think I must watch Otis go through the back of the pod like 50
That was
times.
so cool. Otis is so fucking organically over, and it's
Oh
so
my
cool
god,
because
he's a hero.
he is, and you want him to get with Mandy so fucking badly.
Oh
And
my god,
we know
yeah.
WWE. He's not gonna get a girl like that. It's not gonna happen. He's gonna nearly get her, and then she's gonna kick him in the balls, and she's gonna make out with Dolph Ziggler. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, I know, and I hate it because I just want Otis to be happy.
I just want Mandy and Otis to make out, and I'll be like, "Fuck yeah, Otis," because he's just this big
I've been trying
round
to watch
potato, and Mandy's obviously very attractive, and it's like, oh man. But the story, I will give them one thing. People say a lot about WWE storytelling, a lot about long-term storytelling. This story's been going on since early November, and it's been damn good. It's been simple but complex. It's had twists and turns. It's just been very organic, and it's been very, very good.
Oh yeah, absolutely no disagreement for me there at all. It really has been good, and it's hard. It's so hard to keep a story up for that long anymore, too, and keep people's interest in it.
And they can keep running with this too, because they've got a, who sent the text? I think it was Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville sent the text, and then this eventually leads to the breakup of Sonya and Mandy, because Sonya's probably like, you can't be with a guy like Otis. You need to be with a guy like Dolph, because there's that text going around of who really rescheduled the date. A lot of people saying it could be Tucker, but that would be just a bad choice if you break up Tucker and Otis for Tucker, not Otis. I think Otis will be fine. Tucker will just get lost. They're definitely better together than they would be separated. But
Oh my god.
the tag team chamber, my god, it was a lot of fun. That shooting star press that Lindsay Dorado did off the top of the fucking chamber was absolutely wild.
It was perfect too. Like it was so graceful.
He didn't he looked. You could see him looking exactly where he was going to land, and he like went down straight as an arrow. Like it was like crazy how precise that was.
Yeah, it really was. Considering how much give there are in those chains, and how imperfect that is trying to do that. Going up there is like still really, except with the exception, I guess, Morrison. Going up there is very much uncharted territory.
Yeah. And Morrison just kind of fell when he did it, didn't he? He just kind of fell off of it.
Yeah. It wasn't as graceful, Like Sheamus had to kind of help him and get underneath Morrison, whereas I thought this one landed pretty well.
Yeah.
And just overall, this match was, there were a lot of great moments for a lot of great talent. Like everybody got a chance to shine.
Tucker with that barrel roll off the top of the pod. I was like, whoa, Tucker.
Yeah, that's the first one that comes to mind. Tucker, don't sleep on Tucker. But also, I love the fact that they started this with New Day Usos. I can watch that forever.
Yeah, me too. And I love the finish of that match, how they did they were allowed to cheat, so Miz cheated. Like, why not use the ropes? And Morrison coming over with the thing. I like Miz and Morrison because they're just lame. They're just, like, jerks, and it's great. And it's just given me a lot of nostalgia, I think. John Morrison's music in general has given me a lot of nostalgia. And, I was a bit like, Morrison returned, and it was kind of just like, eh. But it feels like he's getting in his groove. He works well with Miz, and eventually when these two break up and Morrison goes off to be a face, I mean, I'm not going to be mad at that. Morrison can do cool stuff, so it's pretty easy to cheer him. I'd like to see Morrison. Would you like to see Morrison with a run at the top of the card? Would you like to see Morrison and Reigns and Morrison and, I don't know, Seth and stuff like that? I would. You don't like Morrison like that? I like Morrison.
No, I never liked Morrison like that. I think he's being best utilized right now.
He's good.
Him and the Miz are gold together, and he's such a good heel. Like I don't think he's a very relatable babyface.
Really, I like him as a babyface.
I know he does cool stuff, but I don't find him easy to cheer for. He's literally like the most handsome looking dude ever.
Yeah, true. I'm
not
gonna
punch that guy in the face.
Yeah, no, I get you. Nonetheless, really fun chamber. Really like the finish. Lots of cool spots. It was good to see the tag team division get highlighted with the chamber. One more thing I want to touch on from the chamber is Drew Gulak and Daniel Bryan starting off that pay-per-view and having just a pure wrestling match. Like, what a fantastic way to kick off a pay-per-view. That pay-per-view, people were going in like, there's no hype. When there's like that, when people are like, ooh, all their stars, there's no title matches really going on in this show, like the top title matches. That's when WWE does their best work, I think. And I thought the show was, well, you didn't agree with the main event, but I thought the show was really good. for the most part. That Gulak and Bryan match though was just wrestling
That
handbook.
was my favorite thing on the card and I had a feeling it would be, knowing their styles and knowing what I like. But it really exceeded. I was also a little skeptical that they were going to be able to go out and do the kind of pure wrestling that they were both known for well before they came here.
Yeah.
And God, did they deliver. It was beautiful. It was
Slow
so crisp.
build to that.
Flawless.
Like, it was just so, like a very slow start, and it got to a really hot finish. That match just built like pure wrestling. It was just really, really good. And Gulak looked awesome in that. Like, there was no shame.
I've been a Drew Gulak fan for a while. I liked him. I liked some of his work in Evolve before the first Cruiserweight Classic, before he got on WWE's radar, really. Oh, God, he's so good. He's so technically proficient, and I love that style.
Yeah.
And so to be able to see that, it's not unexpected to see matches like that every week. But to see that, to know WWE has it in the back pocket if they need it, is pretty cool.
Yeah, and this is just pure speculation, but that just seems to me that Bryan has gone up to someone and said, I want to work with Gulak. You need a place for this card. Let us go out there and wrestle. Can you please give me somewhat of a story with him? I could just imagine that's Bryan's doing. I could just imagine he was vocal about that, but very good stuff. Just a really, really good wrestling match.
How about that German suplex Bryan took? You got to know what I'm talking about, right?
Boy, that was just, oh my goodness. That was so lucky that he didn't land any other way.
I know. I was watching it at work, and I literally got up out of my chair when he landed like that. I was like, oh my God.
I was like, that's the end. I was like, he's done again. And I'm like, uh-oh.
That's the thing. Like, WWE used it to their advantage, like kind of scummily. But they know they could sell the neck with Daniel Bryan at any time, at any given moment, and we're always going to believe it.
Yeah.
Because every time he takes a fall like that, we're like thinking about the long-term ramifications.
Oh, yeah.
Even if he's completely fine, we're just like, oh my God, he's going to be out for months.
No, I agree. I'm the same. Speaking of someone that's been out for a while, Paige is coming back on SmackDown. Well, I guess she's still coming back. I think they're still doing the same advertised stuff from the PC, I guess. Paige is scheduled to return to confront Bayley. Lots of speculation, obviously, going around there. I've seen stuff about maybe Nia Jax is coming back, and we're going to do Nia and Bayley with Paige managing Nia. Paige has been very vocal. The fact that she wants to manage Nia Jax. Of course, people are always going to speculate. It's like, is Paige coming back to wrestle? Is this happening? I think that'll always be in the back of our mind because of so many people like Edge and Bryan being able to come back to wrestle.
Especially, and I was going to say, especially because of what we've seen with Edge now, it honestly gives her some new life.
You can imagine, like, she's seen that and she's gone, if Edge can come back and Bryan can come back, especially Edge because of the neck stuff, it's like, can I, maybe it's time for me to see if I can get back. And who knows, really, if it was Nia, I like Nia. Do we both agree on that? You don't like Nia. I don't know.
I like Nia in NXT, and I'm not saying that, like, and I know that's like a very popular thing to do, like, oh, they're better in NXT, yada, yada, yada. I don't think she was better in NXT. I just liked her more there. I think she's gotten a lot better, both in the ring and sort of owning her character since then on the main roster, but, like, I don't know, something just hasn't clicked with me.
Really? Okay, wait, I just completely lost my train of thought then. Sorry. Really? No, I just completely lost my train of thought. When your just mind goes in other places and you're just like, I'm just going to say a word. But no, yeah. I heard what you said. Nia has gotten better and I think it is the popular thing to say that, I liked her more in NXT. I think we liked everyone more in NXT. NXT is just fun and just utilizes people a lot better. However, I don't necessarily know if Nia needs someone to talk for her.
No, and especially if you're gonna do Nia versus Bayley, I imagine they're not gonna turn Bayley, so it would be Nia the babyface. Is that sort of the going theory?
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's the going theory of Nia's gonna. But how would that work? Well,
I just don't think Nia should ever be a babyface.
Well, we remember when she was a babyface and Bliss was basically just calling her fat. That was the story, and it wasn't.
First of all, that's gonna be the story probably a lot.
Well, yeah, because WWE are like that. They don't know how to.
Yeah.
Why women have gotten a lot better, they still don't know how to write for women very well.
No. And I can't see them like. Oh fuck! What was I gonna say? I just don't think that Nia Jax is that good. I just think she's
She's
so
a better
good at
heel.
being.
Yeah, she's better
Yeah.
at being a complete ass. It just works for her better, and she's
But
big. And I want to see.
ever since the Becky thing, people want to root against her. So
Yeah, it's easy to, and I just
Even
want to see
before.
Nia be a monster. Can we just have Nia? She's different to anybody else on the roster. Let's just have her run through some people. That's what I want from Nia Jax. But I don't know. Bayley and Nia had some matches in NXT. I remember NXT Takeover London being okay, but it was two very different people. I don't know if I could root against Bayley with Nia.
yeah, that's the thing. I would root for Bayley 10 times out of 10 in that situation.
Yeah. You don't like Bayley as a heel, do you?
I don't mind it. Like I loved the huggable one. I thought that was like almost the perfect character. But I can't knock Bayley for wanting to try to do something different. I think she's owned it. I think she's been pretty good.
I really like Bayley as a heel. It's very decisive. People are like, oh, they hate it or they love it. I'm on the team love it of the heel Bayley, but against Nia. But then again, there's the aspect of through association, I want to root for Paige. So do I go for Nia because of Paige? And obviously Bayley and Sasha are going to be like, Paige, you suck because your neck's broken, basically. That's what they're going to say. And they're going to call Nia fat. That's basically what they're going to do so we can get sympathy on those two. So is that going to work? I don't necessarily know. Who knows really what's going to happen, because there's lots of elements. The SmackDown Women's Division honestly is really good. The group of ladies they have is really good. It's just utilized really weirdly. They obviously care about the Raw Women's title a lot more than the SmackDown Women's title. It's pretty evident that they do. But it'll probably, in my opinion, end up as some kind of multi-woman match for the SmackDown
The six-pack challenge probably is what I'm seeing, and I get it. It's a good way because they do have a lot of talented women on SmackDown, and they should be trying to get them on the card. I just wish there was a better way.
Why can't we have a story for the SmackDown Women's title, and then we do the Battle Royal? If you really want to get everyone on the card, you put them in the Battle Royal. That's how I see it. But a six-pack challenge will be fine. It'll probably be like Banks, Bayley, Mella, Lacey, Naomi, and Nia, which is fine. But then again, other than maybe Banks, I don't really want Bayley to drop the title to any of those people. I don't want to see Nia as champion. I don't necessarily want to see Naomi as champion. She's fine, but I
think Naomi's the best bet.
Yeah, I guess. Lacey's not. Mella's not. I like Naomi as well.
Someone I guess you could always throw the title on too.
I don't really know. Bliss and Nikki are looking to, I guess, go with the women's tag team titles. I think it seems to be they're calling up the Kabuki Warriors. Cool. You know what I mean? Cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It was, they could be the first 2-time champs, which is very illustrious.
I guess. There's women's tag team titles. Poor things. They just struggle. They always every time they get brought to relevancy, they take them away. You know what I mean? They just, when was the last time we seen a women's tag team title match? Honestly.
Yeah, they just, everyone was so hot for the Kabuki Warriors when they won those belts, and now it's just tumbled down the card.
Yeah, and I really like the Kabuki Warriors. I think they're very fucking entertaining. Their stuff on Raw with their promos, and I don't know what they're saying, but it doesn't matter. I can just kind of feel, and they're just idiots. They run around, and I really like the Kabuki Warriors. Something that I didn't think I would say when it come to them being heels, but they're good heels because they're just completely crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and they get you to root against them. They make they're talking shit, even if you can't really understand what they're saying. That they're just being they're being a pair of Weidenheimers.
Easy peasy. And I'll always laugh when Asuka got that microphone, got up in Shayna Baszler's face and said, "Bite me." I was like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny. I was like, that's so
Bite
good.
me.
I was like, yes, Asuka. Asuka is a great heel. I think Kairi is obviously a natural babyface, but by association, she makes a good heel with Asuka, and I like the run.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
just
been very
enjoying it.
entertaining.
Yeah, and she comes out with the umbrella, and they have a whole little shtick, you know what I mean? They have their thing, and it works, and I'm glad that WWE's like, you know what, you don't need someone to talk for you, just go and speak Japanese, and it's fine, and it works. I think we need to shy away from, if they can't speak English, that means they can't talk at all. It's like, let's see how they go. Like, Andrade's getting a little bit more time, Angel Garza's getting a little bit more time. Zelina's still obviously there because she's great in that role, but they're allowing them to, you know, they are an international company. I think sometimes people forget that they do go outside of the United States, and it airs live outside of the United States, so you have to learn to cater to these other nationalities and these other things. You've got about 400,000 Australians in there, so we're fine. But it's just cool to see other things happening than just, you know, the status quo. Mentioning Angel Garza and Andrade Zelina, how are you feeling about Zelina with Angel Garza as well as Andrade?
I think it's a good way for him to be. I think it may. I don't necessarily think Garza needs Zelina. It's a good way for him to get himself established right away. And look at how it's happened. You know, he's been a force since day one on Raw. You know, he's been someone that people respect and, you know, I guess fear because of his association with Zelina Vega. You know, she means business. So, you know, by extension, this guy means business. Yeah. And obviously they've helped him out a lot, but, you know, they booked him pretty strongly. He's looked like $1 million in the ring with Humberto, with Rey Mysterio. And it seems like we're heading towards some sort of a fatal four-way between those guys and Mania. I think we're all on the same page when it comes to really wanting that match.
Because that'll be so good. Like, that'll be so fucking good. And it could go on any of those guys. I really do think that. Obviously, it could go to Rey because it's Rey. Andrade could keep it. Garza. Imagine if Garza won and we got a program with Angel Garza and Andrade. I would not be mad at that at all. Yeah. Humberto's obviously there. I feel bad for Humberto because I just don't like him, but he's very good. It's weird. Yeah. Like, he's so good in the ring. He's so vanilla.
Yeah, I know. Something about his face I know is not likable.
Oh, he's just so like that white meat, like, yay, I'm here and I'm ready to do the right thing. And it's like, spew. But honestly, like, he's so good in the ring. That moonsault he does is so crisp. It's like, oh my God.
It is. It's very, very good.
It's
just a shame that, like, yeah, he's clearly, and they're clearly reaching for that demographic, the Latina demographic, with the guys like Garza and Andrade, Rey, and Humberto. And it's like Humberto's the one that stands out the least. So, like, he's not going to get any of that, like, push behind him.
No. But I hope we get some kind of four-way with that. I really do. It seems we're going that way, but who really knows what the fuck's going to go down, because everything's kind of up in the air at the moment. Charlotte and Rhea's happening. That's been good. It's been different than what I thought it would be. It's been pretty standard, but it's that really is the match that I'm probably... It could go either way, because I could see reasons why either one would win. And it's Charlotte Flair. She loses enough where she's beatable, but she also wins enough where you don't know whether she's going to win this match or not. They've honestly built Charlotte Flair perfectly, to be completely honest.
She has a chance to win any match she's in based on, you know, her pedigree alone.
Mm-hmm.
There are some competitors, some matches where you just know who wins. She's one of the person, like, you could put her in a completely unwinnable situation, but still be like, yeah, well, she is Charlotte Flair, though.
And you beat her, and it's still big. You know what I mean? It's not like, everyone beats Charlotte. It's like, no, if Rhea was to beat Charlotte Flair, that's a pretty good, cross off the bucket list.
That's a huge one.
Yeah, it's huge.
Absolutely.
Do you have much... Are you excited for that? Just the match itself, bell to bell. Are you excited for it?
I think Charlotte Flair doesn't really have bad matches, and I think Rhea Ripley doesn't have bad matches. So I think it's an interesting, like, melding together of styles. You have like Rhea's, like, the brawler, and then you have Charlotte, who's a bit more elegant, and it's like the Queen versus the mosh pit kid, and it's definitely like two very different characters, but two really capable ring workers going at it.
Star-making moment for Rhea, or a huge moment for NXT if Charlotte Flair's the NXT Women's Champion for the second time in her career, just to kind of get that rub.
And it would be good. It would be good for the brand, and it would be good for her, because right now that's looked at as like the belt in
it's the division. It's the best. She wants to be on top of the best, and the matches in NXT she could have with all those women. I mean, I would not be opposed to any of them. Any of them.
Oh no.
They'll all be good. Imagine her and Charlotte Flair and Tegan Nox, Kevin.
Ah, yeah.
Let's talk about Tegan Nox for a minute, actually, because there was a steel cage. Well, let's talk about the street fight that went down at TakeOver Portland. I know you were very angry at the finish of that. I don't think you're as angry about it as now, because you've kind of seen what.
No, I was kayfabe angry.
Okay, so you were worked. You were completely worked, which is a good thing. That's what they want you to be. They want you to be.
To win the damn match.
It was a brutal match, by the way. I've gone back and watched that street fight.
There were some spots in there that were like really questionable.
Yeah, I really did enjoy the match. They obviously work well together. Their steel cage match was incredible. I like that match a lot more than I like the street fight, and I really liked the street fight. But I thought
the ending to the steel cage match was like one of the most unique, smart endings. Like it helps Raquel Gonzalez in a huge way, because not only is she like this dominant force, but a lot of times you see like these henchmen, and they're often not like the smartest.
Yeah, they're like stooges. Yeah. They're these big muscle people that are like,
this makes her look that much more dangerous, because she actually like did something very logical and smart.
Yeah, like
to help
why wouldn't you do that? Like, it's like, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. I don't mean this in any ill will. But she's a big beast. Like, she is a strong, like, she is like a big girl, and I mean that again nicely. And I like her finish. It's like a powerbomb chokeslam deal. It's really cool. There was one bit in the steel cage match that I really loved when Tegan hit the door bit where Dakota hit Raquel with the steel cage door, and then got the shiniest wizard, and that was a really good false finish. Holy fuck! I bought that as the finish. I'm like, oh, Tegan's gonna win, and she didn't, and then all the other stuff happened, and Dakota. What a sneaky heel. Like classic wrestling. She snuck away with the win. That's twice now Dakota's got a win over Tegan, where she's just sneaking away with it. Something that did surprise me, though, which I don't know if it surprised you, is Dakota lost her qualifying match for that ladder match at TakeOver Tampa, pending.
To me again.
Yeah. Surely Dakota slithers her way into that match. Because that was my pick to win that match.
She's going to make an impact in that match.
I was like, Dakota's going to win this. She's going to go in to fight. I thought if Rhea won, Dakota and Rhea is the next logical step to kind of go, because Dakota's kind of been built really well as a heel. I'm really excited for Chelsea Green in that match, because I think Chelsea and Robert Stone are fantastic. I just think they're very different. But Mia beating Dakota, and then Tegan beating Deonna Purrazzo.
That's like my dream. That's like my dream wrestling match right there.
I know.
Tegan and Deonna Purrazzo. Ooh, great.
It was a good little match. They had, but yeah, Tegan advanced to that. There's 3 more spots next week. We get Candice LeRae and Mercedes Martinez. I would assume Candice would win that one. I would assume.
It could go either way, though. I just think Candice is like more of a fit for a ladder match, though.
And then there's 3 spots. So assuming Candice gets one, there's 2 left. Who would you venture to guess would be the other 2 in that ladder match? Bianca?
Maybe Kaden Carter.
Bianca's got to be involved in this, right?
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe she's nursing some injuries. I don't know.
Bianca, and if Io's ready, I would like to see Io Shirai in that match, to be completely honest with you.
Io should be in every match.
Yeah, true. And it's Io, which is great. But if not Io, Dakota could still find a way in there. If there's a will, there's a way. And hey, she's taken out Mia Yim once before. Let's just do it again, eh? Let's just fucking beat her.
Yeah, make it like a running joke.
Yeah, just every time Mia gets in these multi-women matches where she's going to shine. Dakota's just like, you know what? Fuck you. I really like that. Side note, how do you feel about Dakota Kai as a heel? Because I didn't know. I was skeptical. I was like, ooh, but it's worked.
I hate her. I hate her because of what she's done to Tegan Nox.
And I love her. I
think she's been tremendously effective.
Although, I will admit, Tegan Nox loves Hayley Williams of Paramore, so I stand a little because they mentioned on commentary.
Tegan Nox is the perfect woman.
Yeah, well, that's Renee Young, but let's not get into that. Actually, speaking about Renee Young for 1 second, because why wouldn't I? I was watching WWE Backstage, and Renee Young's been kind of thrusted back onto SmackDown a little bit with some like interview segments and stuff like that. She was on Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia, Lillian Garcia's podcast, and she talked about the commentary run and how much she fucking hated it. Like, she hated it. She said it was the hardest, most challenging, most horrible year of her life in terms of her career. She said she's glad she'd done it, and she said, so when she got, you know how Renee was just kind of randomly like, Renee's going to be on Raw this week only to do commentary. It's like, okay. She said that was amazing. Everyone was amazing to her. She was really feeling it. She found her voice. She's like, yeah, this is really good. She said the moment I went permanent, that all changed. And she said, I didn't know what to say, when to say it. Corey and Michael were already kind of saying everything that I was going to say. And then all the online stuff happened as well, and all people kind of low-key bullied her, which is probably a perfect way of summing that up. People were bullying her about a fucking commentary job, which is just ridiculous. They don't know what they're talking about, whether you agree that she was good or she wasn't. What would really any of us know how to do it? But she said about 6 months in, she was waiting to get called into whoever's office to say, this ain't working. She was waiting for it, and she said, I'm really surprised it lasted as long as it did. And she said that if asked again to do it, she would say, can you please put Beth instead? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can understand. She did get a lot of flack online for her commentary. And I know I've been on record on the show saying that the commentary experience really doesn't do too much to my overall viewing experience. Like, I'm not like one to really harp on commentary. So I can't really comment on whether or not she was good or not. I never had a problem with Renee Young. She never like took me out of a match or anything.
No. It is what it is, I guess. But yeah, it was just a little tidbit that I thought I'd mention just because I mentioned Renee Young. What else do we need to talk about? I guess we'll talk about AEW for a minute because I'm starting to really like it, I think. I'm not sure. There's some things that I really don't like, and that's namely the women's division, is because they do not get a very good ratio of television time. They do not treat them... I'm used to seeing a certain level of female star now because, you know me, I love women in wrestling. I just think they're the best thing. They're the reason I still watch wrestling. And over here, I understand they're in a building phase. However, you still need to give them time to develop. There's not a lot of characters that I can really like. I just don't like a lot of them. Everyone goes on about Big Swole. I don't get it. I don't see it. I'm like, I just don't understand it. Britt Baker is a better heel. I will admit that I've jumped back in. I'm like, okay, Britt's a heel now. It works a lot better. She has a fake best friend in Tony Schiavone. I think it's hilarious that she gets him Starbucks. She always gets his order wrong, and she always spells his name wrong, which is just hilarious to me. Nyla Rose as champion is fine. She's better than Rio as a champion, because I don't think Rio was a very good first champion. I don't like Chris Statlander. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, internet, who love Chris Statlander. I don't understand why she's an alien. Please tell me why. I don't get it. The women's division is really the only criticism I have of AEW, because everything beforehand that I was saying, I'm like, okay, it's not like this. That was my bad. I'm liking everything else except this. And it's my only criticism of it, and I just want it to, but I want it to get better, and I'm here, I'm waiting, like, explain to me who these women are. And that title is so ugly. It's so ugly. I hate it.
It's teeny tiny.
It looks like just a toy. It looks like one of those, those plastic championships that you can buy, and it just looks bad. It needs to be bigger, and I don't like the design of it. It looks like an egg with some writing on it. I don't like it, and I'll leave it at that. However, the stuff that I'm really enjoying in AEW, ever since Revolution, I watched that. I thought it was a really good show. There was obviously that tag match with the Bucks, and Omega and Paige was just
6 stars, Josh.
Yeah. Meltzer.
6.
But still, rightfully so. It's a very fucking good match. That pay-per-view was really good. Mox is champion now, which is really cool to see. It's a different Jon Moxley than I'm used to, obviously. The Inner Circle I really like. I am genuinely enjoying pretty much everything that AEW is putting out. The Dark Order stuff is great because they've got a lot of intrigue into who this... What is it called? I always...
The Exalted One.
Yeah, that thing. Whether it's going to be... obviously Matt Hardy is a candidate, but I think they've made it too obvious that it is going to be Matt Hardy, so it's not going to be Matt Hardy. That's how I see wrestling anyway.
Might be Brody Lee, the formerly known as Luke Harper.
Yeah, we got him.
Well, they were gonna do it in Rochester, but the show got moved to Jacksonville.
Which is rough.
Rochester is Luke Harper's hometown.
That would have been, as soon as I seen that, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be him, and then they obviously moved it. But I think it's a foregone conclusion that Matt Hardy's just gonna be in AEW at this stage.
Yeah, he did the video with the Bucks. It's hard. It's like hard for him to be like, going back on that now.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I think Matt is a better suit. Jeff's obviously staying in WWE. He made it very clear on WWE Backstage a couple of weeks ago that he's like, nah, fam, I'm staying here. I want to do some more manias. So I don't think Jeff's. I think Jeff's quite content, and Jeff works better in WWE. They obviously, I think they care about Jeff more so than Matt. They always have.
Yeah, he's always been their cash. He's always been a cash cow, because
I hate to I love Matt.
Matt Hardy had like a great late career renaissance where he started learning how, all these different characters and like doing much better with the character work. But Jeff Hardy's always been the man of the group.
Oh yeah, he's always been the star. That's just how it is. Matt had a great couple of last week. If that's the last time we see Matt Hardy in WWE, he had a great couple of last promos with Randy. They were really, really good segments. Anything that Randy Orton has been doing since attacking Edge has been golden. Fucking just print my money, you know what I mean? Like, it has just been really good television. I'm so excited for Edge and Randy.
We just forget because so often Randy Orton seems uninspired and like not really into the material he's with, that we often forget, like, just when he sinks his teeth into something, he's literally like one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, like, I don't think when Randy Orton's... I tweet this a lot. I think I tweet this every week I watch him. When Randy Orton's on, there's nobody better. I really do believe that. When Randy Orton's switched on and he can sink his teeth into something, he's the best. That's just how I see him. And Edge,
he's clearly enjoying this.
Fuck, Kev, you probably watched it on Twitter or somewhere or YouTube. Edge is a complete maniac when he wants to be. This week when he come back on Raw, those eyes just pop out of his head and he's like...
nothing. His defining characteristic are those crazy eyes. He's done them so well over, just his stare. I'll never forget the look in his eyes when he won the WWE Championship for the first time after the Chamber match in 2006, and he just like hit this look in his eyes like, holy shit. Just the eyes tell a story, and he tells a great story with them.
Me and Queen had an episode a few weeks ago, obviously the last episode of Reverb that went up. Me and Queen talked about AEW, but we also talked about Edge at the very beginning of that show. And I'll ask the same question to you. Is Edge top 10 greatest of all time?
No, I could probably name 10 better than Edge.
Okay. What about greatest talkers? I think Edge is... I forgot how good Edge is.
He might have a chance. He might have a chance there.
Yeah, Edge is a very good talker. I think Edge is just... Anything Edge does at this point is just extra for me, you know what I mean? Like, in the sense of, like, we weren't meant to get this, so I'm just savoring... I'm watching every Edge match like it could be the last time he's wrestling. That's how I'm treating this.
It could be, really.
We don't know. We don't know, yeah. And Edge and Randy, I'm not going to be mad at that at all. And just, it doesn't... Honestly, this story's been that good, it doesn't matter what they do inside the ring. Because obviously, I feel like this is going to be some kind of no-holds-barred match or something. Pending, if this is all happening again, that I just want them to beat the shit. I just want Edge to beat the shit out of Randy Orton. Is that too hard to ask for? I just want the babyface to beat up the heel. It's perfect. It's Wrestling 101, and it's just everything I want at the moment. But the Beth and Randy segment, we'll talk about that for a second, because that promo that Randy Orton cut may have been the best promo of his entire career. because it was real. It felt real. I felt what he was feeling. The best heels are the ones that there's an element of truth, or you can look at them and go, they believe what they're saying is true. And I think that works best for that's what I look for in a heel.
Yeah, Orton's clearly feeling what he's saying, and he makes you believe that he believes in that twisted old eggshell of his that he's doing the right thing, and that is the most effective heel. That someone that you could sort of see it from their side.
Mm-hmm. You go, I don't agree with you, but I understand it. Because he's just trying to protect Edge. He wants Edge to be there for his kids. He wants Edge to be there for Beth. And honestly, Beth played her part really well because Beth's never really been known for her speaking. I guess commentary probably helps with that. But again, Beth didn't really get that many opportunities to go out and cut promos like that when she was wrestling. It's not like they were having in-depth stories like this for Beth Phoenix. So it's cool to see Beth in that light, and the slap, he called her a bitch. She kicked him, the RKO, and it was all said and done. In this day and age, that worked so well. I know probably people of wrestling that have been watching it, it's like, he could have probably done a little bit more. She's a trained professional. Yes, okay, but in this day and age, a man hitting a woman is pretty intense, and a man giving a woman an RKO, also pretty intense. I mean, it was a really cool segment that did its job really well, and it's made Edge an absolute maniac again. He wants to literally rip the head off of Randy Orton, and he gave a couple concertos to poor old MVP.
MVP, yeah, Jesus, like MVP just didn't know what he was getting into when he came back. He probably had an idea, but
Poor
like
MVP. Honestly, the dude just wanted to create a stable. He's just like, yo, I want Edge to be in my stable of these people, and Edge is like, get absolutely wrecked. I'm gonna spear you, and I'm gonna beat the crap out of you.
Oh man, I mean, I'll never get tired of seeing MVP get his ass beat, though.
Oh, me either at all. I was never really an MVP guy, to be completely honest.
MVP, and I've said this, MVP was like the first heel that I was like, oh, this guy is cool.
He had the inflatable things, and
the music was great. The ring gear I loved. The bling bling, the cornrows, everything I thought was just perfect.
I can't believe you just uttered the words bling bling on this podcast. Welcome to the Josh Robinson Double Zero Network. The bling bling.
The bling bling.
I'm just gonna say it now. 2020 has been a year already, and
2020 has been a real bitch.
It has. It's been a bitch. We've had a lot of shit go down in 2020, and we're literally 3 months into the year. Oh man, I guess 2021 will be our year, eh?
Yeah,
Hopefully
I saw someone, they took the old 30 Rock meme where it's like Liz Lemon saying, wow, what a week, and Alec Baldwin's character saying, Lemon, it's Tuesday or Wednesday. I saw someone took that but just made it, wow, what a year, Lemon, it's March.
Oh man, it's relevant, very relatable at the moment. What a wild time we're in right now, because when we come to you next Friday, guys, we don't know if Wrestlemania is still going to be a thing. We don't know we don't know. It could literally just be canned. We don't really know what's going on. It could be taking place from Vince McMahon's backyard. It could be taking place from the Performance Center. Maybe they'll run it in Full Sail. Who really fucking knows what's going down at the moment? Because I don't understand what's going to happen. I don't think any of us really do. And I hate this delaying when we're 3 weeks out for an event. Just cancel it, guys, or postpone it, or just tell us what you're doing. They're saying WWE have put out statements like, we've got these other plans. We've got some things in the works. So obviously they have a plan, but just do it, guys. I wish the government would step in and just be like, it's not going down. So then we can just get excited or not get excited. You know what I mean?
We could figure out what to do next. Because while we're in this sort of state of we don't know what's happening, nothing could really happen. You have to sort of put everything on hold while we wait for this decision. It's better that they get it out of the way so they could go to these contingency plans that they have and sort of start building for something else and not focusing on something that we don't know is going to happen.
Yeah, because there's still 3 television products for WWE with SmackDown, Raw, then NXT that are potentially building to an event that might not happen. So you're wasting time. At least if we can't, let's go, okay, we're doing this. Like, if Raw, SmackDown's definitely taking place in the PC tomorrow. And then, of course, I would assume Raw would be. NXT, I guess, could probably stay in Full Sail. Maybe we'll go to the PC. It doesn't really make that much of a difference for that. But do you really see The Undertaker and AJ Styles signing a contract for WrestleMania at the PC next week? Because that's apparently what's going to go down if Raw gets moved to the PC. It's weird. Austin is meant to be on Raw next week.
Oh, yeah. No,
PC will come unglued.
It's just weird. It's unprecedented.
But I mean,
we
at the
don't know
same
what
time,
to do.
WWE have literally had a show where a man has passed away on their show and they still went on. I'm pretty sure that Vince is going to have these shows happen whether there's one fan in the audience or whether there's 400,000 people in the audience.
That's the thing. Vince takes the axiom, the show goes on.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, everything's canceling. Everything's canceling. Vince wants a feather in his cap, and this is just a smart business move to have a feather in your cap saying, well, I'm not canceling my show. It can happen wherever I want it to happen in the sense of, like, what I can do in the restrictions that I have. If that means having it with all the McMahon family in the audience to be the crowd and make as much noise as they possibly can, he'll do it. Just to continue, because there's no off-season in WWE. It's not happening. AEW, on the other hand, it's like, yes, they have their spot in Jacksonville, but how long can they have? It's not like they have a PC. It's not like they can go to Vince McMahon and be like, hey, can we use your PC for the fucking television events that we're running? I think Vince would be like, kiss my fucking old man ass. It's like, I don't think so, Tony. You know, get your own PC, bitch. Like, I think that's what he'd be saying.
Yeah.
So, and if AEW stop running events, WWE will be like, fucking stroke my giant PP because we're gonna keep going. I
don't think there's no stopping this freight train.
Oh no. I'm pretty certain I can pretty much think this way of WWE are not canceling their shows. It's just maybe Mania postponed, but their television product will continue in the PC. They will run it. I'm pretty certain. Hey, at least Raw and SmackDown will look a little bit different for the next few weeks.
Yeah, it'll be unique. You know, it might be better.
Who knows?
Who knows?
We don't know. And we're in that sense of we don't know for the next week. I guess we'll know more come SmackDown and then on to whatever's next for WWE. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of statements from a lot of different places, though, saying things are cancelled. I'm pretty certain. I got my notice from my travel agent yesterday. I was meant to be coming to the States in November. They're like, listen, it's November that you're coming, but if you don't cancel soon, you're not going to be able to get your deposit back. So therefore, like, do you want to reschedule to maybe this time next year? And I'm like, I got a little bit of a decision to make. It's either do it and then just hope for the best and it'll probably be all blown over. But then there's that chance that it won't, and I've lost a lot of money. So I mean, international flights are being grounded for a lot of the time for the next at least couple of months. It's pretty crazy time. So we're in this just sense of uncertainty at the moment. It's just crazy.
Perfect way to describe it. Like, we don't know it's everything is happening on literally a minute by minute basis. So you don't know, we could get off this call and then like 3 minutes afterwards, something crazy could happen.
Yeah, but literally by the time that I edit this and release this in the next few hours,
you could have missed like 3 huge stories.
Yeah, like it's probably. So again, everybody, this is at time of recording. A few hours before you hear the show is when I'm recording this. So I don't know. Well, in that case, though, wrapping everything up, I hope you do enjoy the Josh Robinson 00 Network, everybody, with all the shows that we got coming up. Fridays is where you're going to find Wrestling Reverb on all this new feed, along with YouTube. And I just hope you enjoy everything that I've got planned and other things that I've got in the works of coming up for this network. This is the new home for all of my content. So I hope you are just soaking it in as best you can. And thank you, everyone, for the support of it all. It's been really, really, really fun. I guess that's it. Anything else you want to touch on other than, well, wash your hands before you touch on it.
I was literally just going to say, wash your damn hands.
Bitch, I got there first.
Seriously, wash your hands, take necessary precautions. Don't panic.
Yes,
just
stay
be
calm.
mindful.
Like,
And be
just
alert. Yeah.
stay calm,
Stay
guys.
calm, be collected.
And
So,
wash
you know,
your hands. Just wash your
yeah,
hands.
please
And
wash
stop
your
buying
hands.
all the toilet paper, everybody. Oh my god. Is
Yeah,
that going on in the States?
that's gonna screw up everybody.
Is that going on in the States as well, or is it just here?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely going on here too.
Oh my god, it's like, for one, all of the toilet paper in this country is made in this country. It's literally made like 3 hours from where I am. That's the main factory where all the toilet paper happens. Because some person started a rumor that all of our toilet paper came from China, and obviously China's shut down a lot of stuff, so they can't import a lot of things. And then it was, oh my god, we have to go into self-quarantined times, so therefore let's buy all the toilet paper. I've been abused by a lot of customers this week in the last couple of weeks about not having toilet paper. It's like, I'm sorry, you're buying 14 packs of 24 packs of toilet paper. I really can't give you any more toilet paper. I'm sorry. But yes, please, just calm down, everybody. Just stay calm. It's okay. We'll know if we need to panic. You know what I mean? Like, we'll know. And I don't think we need to be in a state of panic yet. But just wash your damn hands. I guess that's what I'd say. Wash your damn hands. Well, I guess until next week, we'll catch you on the next one. Kevin, you want to give him a nice goodbye? Have you got anything coming up? Probably not. I don't know.
Nothing. Jesus, no, nothing to promote tonight.
Also,
I'm
in a state of it, we don't know. We'll probably get canned as well. Wait for our official statement on whether we're going to continue.
Yeah.
Postponed.
I might have the coronavirus. I might be spitting it through the computer right now.
We don't know. Who really knows? Apparently, you don't show symptoms for like 2 or 3 weeks in some cases. So
awesome.
Who really?
I'm looking forward to living my life in fear.
Yeah, living life on the edge. We're ready for it. All right, guys. Until next time, wash your hands and be kind to one another. Peace out.